Jurassic World Rebirth is introducing one of the strangest creatures of the franchise yet, the mutant dinosaur dubbed as the D-Rex. This guy has caused some controversy online as it split the fandom into two. Some people are loving the design and some are absolutely hating the design. For me personally, I despise the design, but I really like the idea and premise that it comes from a failed specimen. While it can be minorly canon breaking, since we know that all failures of dinosaurs were destroyed to avoid exactly what the D-Rex is, it's still a cool story to explore nonetheless. It's not exactly a major retcon, just a minor one. This is a dinosaur lost to time, but created by fragments of the future, only to be left behind and tortured for eternity until its death. When you put it like that, it sounds awesome, so I am really interested to see what they do with this creature. But judging by what we know so far, only a handful of people have noticed what I've noticed about this mutant dinosaur, leading us to question whether or not this is the most dangerous dinosaur of the franchise yet. Well, that's exactly what we're going to be speculating about in today's video and try to explain to the best of our abilities. Which, if you want more informative Jurassic content here on YouTube, we do exactly that. Ever wondered what happened to the Indoraptor's body after Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? Or perhaps you want to know how many more movies are coming after Rebirth? Maybe you just want to get hyped for the next Jurassic World movie this summer. Whatever you have on your mind, you can probably find it here on the channel. Movies, games, TV shows, whatever. Anything Jurassic, and I've got you covered. So why not subscribe to the channel for your personal benefit, but to also help support me as much as possible. 2025 is a massive year for Jurassic, so there's no better time than the present to subscribe. Just as a heads up, a massive thank you to Goji Center for creating a beautiful model and animation of the D-Rex, as we don't really have much to go off from the trailer alone, so a big shout out to him. I'm sure you guys already seen his video. But for now, enough of my begging, it's time to discuss if the D-Rex is the most dangerous dinosaur of the Jurassic franchise. So throughout the trailer of Jurassic World Rebirth, we can undeniably say that this mutant dinosaur was the most questionable part of it, but also probably one of the most hyped up parts of the trailer as well. Whilst there wasn't like a big necessary lead up to the very end of its reveal at the end of the trailer, like there was with the Spinosaurus and the Mosasaurus, but the most dangerous aspects of this trailer pretty much came from the D-Rex itself. It looks big, it's carnivorous, and you can even see the complete fear from the characters. When the D-Rex first enters the frame with its claw, we can see literally Jonathan Bailey's character shaking his leg in terror. We can also see that when the D-Rex is locked up in the cryo chamber, that somebody is desperate to get out, knowing that he's pretty much going to die. And not only that, but we see the fear in Duncan's face going face to face with this dinosaur as well via some images. But pair that all up with the fact that this creature is shown to be in red mist most often throughout the trailer, just adds even more to the fear aspect. We see it in the red cryo chamber, we see the red flare, and we even see it through the mist of the smoke as well. So they really tried their best to showcase this dinosaur in an aspect for the viewers to be like, whoa, this guy is dangerous, what is this thing? So whilst it wasn't the big lead up to the end of the trailer, I do believe that it was probably the most hyped dinosaur in the trailer itself, and they did this on purpose, because I just know throughout the movie we're going to start correlating the D-Rex with the colour red, judging by what we saw in the trailer, which I'm sure you guys already know what red refers to. Blood, death, danger, all of that type of stuff. So the fact that it looks ginormous, the fact that it is carnivorous, the fact we see the physical fear from the characters, and the fact that we see it correlated with the colour red, it really makes me think, is this dinosaur going to be dangerous? Judging by the outside perspective and by the sounds of it, you would automatically say, yes, the mutant D-Rex is going to be very, very dangerous. But is it really dangerous? Just a couple hours after the trailer, I had this thought to myself about the D-Rex, and I was waiting to see if anybody really had the same idea. Now, it actually took a week until I got to see like a handful of people say the same thing I'm thinking. And they started to question whether or not this D-Rex is actually going to be dangerous, because I think it's safe to say that 95% of people out there would say undoubtedly that the D-Rex is going to be dangerous. But the other 5%, I'm within that percentage, and only a handful of people have been questioning whether or not the D-Rex is actually going to be really dangerous. So let's try to break this down. So when we think about the creature, what exactly is it? Well, it's a genetical failure. That alone should be enough for you to start to try to sympathize with this dinosaur. We know every dinosaur in the franchise, besides the Scorpius Rex, to come out pretty much perfectly. Exactly how the scientists wanted. Maybe Bumpy was asymmetrical, or the Spinoceratops did kind of look like an abomination, but pretty much all of the dinosaurs that we did get to see on screen came out either perfect or almost perfect to the actual intention behind the scientists creating the dinosaur themselves. But this mutant dinosaur, the D-Rex, we know that it was sculpted after the Xenomorph from Aliens and also the Rancor from Star Wars, but they also mentioned that it was themed after the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic, of course being a Jurassic movie. So it is safe to say that this is a genetical failure of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which automatically, when you think about it and you deep it a little bit, that is quite heartbreaking when you think about it. It's not supposed to be alive, and to be honest, genetical failures don't really make it past infancy. So the fact that it is nearly 50 years old, it just makes you think, wow, actually maybe this guy isn't as big of a threat, it's going to have a lot of deformities and it's just not natural. And as I said, it just should not be alive. Genetical failures shouldn't really go past infancy, and also we know about the morality rule that require these dinosaurs to be destroyed if they are genetical failure. So I think it is safe to say that this creature should not be alive, and if it is, then it's clearly struggling to be alive. Throughout the trailer, when we try to identify the features and what it does and the attributes, you can quite clearly see that it is quite slow moving. It takes an age to even try to move towards Duncan in the trailer. You can see how slowly the claw lands on the pontoon in the trailer as well, so it is safe to say that this creature is very slow moving. It's not bipedal like a velociraptor or a tyrannosaurus, it's actually a quadruped, which we know don't really run too fast unless you're probably a hadrosaurus. So the fact that it is slow moving, we can then pair it up with the fact that it just doesn't have a practical design for killing. Honestly, we take a look at it, and Goji Sensor made it quite obvious in his video, the way that it kills just doesn't really make too much sense. Now, not only that, but we can see how bulky this creature is, adding to the fact that it is just not agile. It's not going to be running around changing directions really quickly like a velociraptor can. Sure, it does have these really long and big arms to aid it, but at the end of the day, the design is not practical for hunting or killing, so this creature is most likely a scavenger. And again, I just don't know how it would have survived 50 years to begin with. It's clearly a very old creature, so when we do get to see it in Jurassic World Rebirth, it has most likely passed its prime of hunting years. So when we pair all of this together, a genetical failure, it should not be alive, it's nearly 50 years old, it's very slow moving, it's bulky, not agile, and it just doesn't have a practical design for killing. Overall, I do not think it's as dangerous as it's being portrayed in the trailer. I'm sure it will have its moments, maybe snapping up somebody, grabbing them or throwing them around, maybe even treading on someone, but just based off everything we know, it doesn't really come across too dangerous in my opinion. It's kind of just there, existing, you know what I mean? So while it was portrayed as a big danger and threat in the trailer, I strongly disagree that it's going to be anything of such in the movie. It just doesn't have the right features or compatibility to be as terrifying as maybe even the Skullcrawlers from the Monsterverse, for example. Those guys are actually really cool, some of my favourite. I mean, sure, at the same time it does have potential to be like those, but the D-Rex's mobility really lets it down in this department. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be the most dangerous dinosaur of the franchise, or anywhere near it. That title still goes to the Scorpius Rex. Go debate that in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe to make sure you don't miss a single update from the franchise. But most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.